Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Ultimate Racing League and the GrTwosdays Championship with the GT500s. We are here with the Pro-Am guys at the Daytona Raceway. We've already done the Pro League race, which was quite an exciting spectacle, loads of action, and we hope that this race is going to bring much of the same. Well, the Daytona Raceway, one of the most legendary circuits on any racing calendar. Self-proclaimed as the world center of speed. It started being built, I believe, back in 1957, and is still hosting racing today. And we're at the road course, as opposed to the oval, which holds the legendary Daytona 500 NASCAR Championship. The road course is the track that holds the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is more akin to what we will be driving here. I'll take you down through the grid, and then we'll get the race underway. The Pro-Am guys. So on pole, a surprise pole sitter, really. He's shown real strong pace, but we haven't seen him on pole before. We have HKRT Speed Demon. So congratulations to him for his first pole position of these championships. In second place, we have Canados. So the current, I think he's the standout fastest guy on track at the moment when compared with outright performance. He's being closely ran by Shadow, who, as you can see, is in third. But these two are definitely the pinnacle at the moment in this championship. I wonder if anybody can take it to them, whether HKRT Speed Demon, whether that is his true pace around this track, or whether he just had an absolutely amazing qualifying. We shall see. But Canados is in second place on the grid. Shadow in third place, I believe our championship leader. I will be doing the championship standings at the beginning of the next round, so keep your eyes peeled for that. In fourth place, we have P. White. A big season for him. I know he dropped down from the Pro League last season. He's dropped down to this league, but he's certainly found himself at home here, and his performances are showing more confidence now. He's in a league where his pace is at the front end of the grid. In fifth place, we've got Paris. Some great performances of late from Paris, so it'd be good to see what you can do today. Muhammad Ali is in sixth, and a massive thank you to him for saving and sharing the replay so I can bring you the commentary. In seventh, we've got GT Mac. In eighth, we've got the returning Tiddy Milk. In ninth, we've got Triano Motorsport. 10th is Carlsberg. In 11th, we've got Castellan, again, returning from a little bit of a hiatus, so it's good to see Castellan back. And in 12th, we've got Pablo Jr. I got a feeling he must have missed qualifying because he's got way more pace than that we saw last season. Either that or he's just struggling to get to grips with these cars. But if it was qualifying performances put him back there, then he will be absolutely furious with himself, because we know he's got the pace to be much further up the grid. Anyway, let's get this race underway. As the klaxon goes, the Speed Demon takes us across the line down towards turn one. A left-hander, you're looking to be as late on the brakes as possible so you don't get an unwelcome shove up the inside. It looks like everybody's getting through nice and cleanly. Oh, we've got somebody into the wall there. Triano Motorsport into the wall. He's going to have to really knuckle down to get back up to the back of the pack. Once you lose the slipstream round here, as P. White goes straight on. Did he get a nudge? That's unlike P. White to end up going straight on. Oh, we've got three battling there. Muhammad Ali as well. Oh, GT Mac gets it all wrong, and that's sent P. White into another dimension by the look of it. Let's have a little look from the cameraman's perspective. So Tiddy Milk got it all wrong. He's a bit laggy there, and he's piled into the back. Let's just go back again, because I think Tiddy Milk is battling in there, and he's just missed his braking point, and just got, well, not missed his braking point necessarily, but got caught out by the Constantino effect of the guys ahead braking, and he's just failed to realise that is what is going to happen on the approach to that corner, and he's just piled into the back of GT Mac like he's not there, and that's sent him into the back of P. White. And that is, I mean, he's lagging a bit, but that's just lack of awareness. That's not what we want to see. You can see here, so you got the Constantina, the car is up ahead. If you look at it from GT Max perspective here, so obviously just coming around turn 1, nice and tidy. We can hear Toronto Motorsport hitting the barrier at the back. So Tilly Mill tucked in behind, and as you're coming down into this turn, so you see him Paris, and he's not really even braking early. He's yeah, that's terrible. We don't want to be seeing that, but we'll get back on with the race. So the stewards will be looking at that, I'm sure, and they will come to their own conclusion. But you got lag playing a small role, but I really don't see that as being any other fault than Tiddy Milk, unless of course Tiddy Milk has not seen any of it on his screen due to lag, but unfortunately, and more worryingly, he's not waited for the victims of his collision. So goes against URL rules and regulations, that, and disappointing to see, but he's cracking on with his race, and we shall do just the same. So as we come up through to the bus stop chicane, we've got Speed Demon taking us through. Canados is second, Shadow in third, with Paris in fourth. These four battling. That looks like Shadow might pick up a penalty. Tiddy Milk in fifth, Muhammad Ali in sixth, Carlsberg is in seventh, Caspian up to eighth, Toronto Motorsport has recovered to ninth. PY is just latching onto the back. These guys off the back of the pack due to the other instance. GT Matt there in 11th, and it looks like Pablo Jr. has had some instance as well. And as you can see there, Shadow did have a half-second time penalty. And I think that is just going back on that instant. You got GT Mac, who was a victim, and P White, who was a victim there. And they're so far off the back of the pack, yet Tiddy Milk is battling up in fifth. That is why the rule is there, that if you do cause a collision, it is a mistake. We do accept that, but just wait, let your competitors take their places back. You ruin all your races, but at least it's fair, and I think that's obviously been missed there. But there we go. Canados then, it takes us round in the lead now. That looks like that's happened going into turn 1, I would imagine. Go back and have a little look. Something a bit more exciting. And he's on the slipstream. He's pulled out to the outside early. So they're going side by side down towards the start-finish line. And it looks like Canados has got the momentum there to get that move done. I mean, the cameraman isn't really showing much, but he has got that move done before turn 1. So under braking, not a problem. He's going to hold on to that position, and Canados takes the lead from Speed Demon. Just have a look at the tyres as well as we go down through the grid, seeing what's going on. The softs on both Canados and Speed Demon and Paris. So the HKRT guys first, second, and third. And they look like they are running similar strategies. Then we've got Shadow on the mediums, so he'll be pleased that he's managing to live with these guys up ahead. I did say he's got some really strong pace. He's on a par with really Canados, although I think Canados has the slight edge over a 1 lap pace. And then you got Tiddy Milk on the softs, and Muhammad Ali there on the hard tyres, something we've become accustomed to. Him running along on the hards early on. I really wish he would try something a bit different, because he's got some good pace as Gramid, but his strategy does let him down sometimes. So maybe he'll stop a bit earlier and try some faster tyres, or he knows something from practice that we haven't spotted. Carlsberg there is 7th, chasing down Muhammad Ali, and Castian in 8th. Carlsberg on the mediums, so should be looking to try and get past Grahamid. Castian on the softs should be looking to get past both of them, so they are going to be battling as the laps roll on. Toronto Motorsport still working on latching onto the back of the pack. Slipstream, the loss of slipstream is really going to hurt these guys, but he's there battling away. P White in 10th, GT Mac there in 11th. So P White on the hard tyres, that could be his saving grace, that he has still got the faster compounds to come, so that hasn't ruined it quite as bad as the likes of Toronto Motorsport and GT Mac on the mediums. Pablo Jr. having an absolute nightmare at the back of the grid still. Not really sure where his race further unravelled, but he's at the back of the grid, but he's on the soft, so hopefully he can find some pace. As Canados then still leading from Speed Demon. Speed Demon keeping him honest though. That's in behind. Just going to try and stick with him. Paris trying to latch onto the back of the both of them. Obviously trying to get that slipstream back. Shadow is going to be fending off from City Milk. Muhammad Ali and Castian has got past Carlsberg there. Saw it in the background. Castian making good use of those soft tyres. Carlsberg not able to make as good a use of the mediums to get past Muhammad Ali. So Carlsberg losing out a little bit there, and he's losing touch with those guys up ahead already. So I know it's a bit of an optical illusion because it spreads out a little bit as it looks like we've got a bit of a battle there with Tiddy Milk and Shadow. So Tiddy Milk has got through on Shadow as well. That's under the slipstream. So he moves to the outside. You can see the lag on Tiddy Milk's car there. I imagine it's Tiddy Milk. It has been an issue with his signal of late. Yeah, you can see the car all looking all different, almost arcadey there. But Tiddy Milk gets the move done through the bus stop chicane nevertheless. And now Muhammad Ali locked onto the back of Shadow. Shadow looks to be struggling a little bit here. He seems to be going backwards. I know the guys up ahead are on the soft tyres, but we're used to seeing a bit more pace from Shadow even on those medium tyres. And Muhammad Ali is not that far behind him on the hard tyres. But Castuin pushing him on. And Carlsberg just trying to stay on the back of the guys up ahead. Cardinal Motorsport still working on his comeback. As is P. White and GT Mac. I think Pablo is just struggling for pace around this track, looking at his lap times on those soft tyres. Perhaps a little bit unfamiliar with the track maybe. Didn't get a chance to get any time in practice, and he's looking a little bit out of sorts compared to what we're used to. So really unfortunate for him. I've spotted Pablo spinning off the back there, and he's just got a little bit wide and pointing in the wrong direction. Apologise for any noises coming from myself. I am suffering with hay fever quite a bit today, so you'll have to bear with me. I will try and remember to mute as and when, so it doesn't appear on the audio. Through the bus stop chicane for the fourth time. Oh, it looks like we lost Shadow again. So Shadow must have had a really awful exit. Castoon has got past Muhammad Ali while we were looking elsewhere. So let's just go back and have a little look here. So Shadow then, so Castian gets at the inside of Muhammad Ali going into the final turn before the left-hander onto the oval part of the track, and yet Shadow does get a really scruffy exit through that left-hander, and that gives Castian the run on him in the slipstream. Castian through on Muhammad Ali as well, so Castian is making good use of those soft tyres, and now he's settled in, and Shadow is looking like he is going to be that next victim, as we've seen. And he pulls to the inside on the way down towards the bus stop chicane, and Castian does take the lead, take the position from Shadow there, and he holds that line. And now Muhammad Ali interested. So Muhammad Ali moves to the outside of Shadow as we come round the oval towards the start-finish line, and Muhammad Ali is through on Shadow there as well. And Carlsberg's going to have a run in the slipstream of Muhammad Ali. The Shadow, in the space of 3 corners, has gone from 5th place back to 7th. Is he going to go back to 8th, or is he going to hold on? At the moment he looks like he's holding on. He's got the inside line. Carlsberg is going to have to back out as Shadow naturally falls to the outside of the track there with a bit of understeer, and that has held on to the position for him. Carlsberg looking to send one up the inside, and the door wasn't really open there. And Carlsberg's going to have to sit tight and look for another opportunity. Shadow really struggling, which is not what we're used to. just spotted up ahead. Speed Demon's lost the place to Paris. Let's go back and have a little look to see where that happened. And yeah, so that was another one at the bus stop chicane. Had the run on him going down into turn 1. Speed Demon just rolls out of it. Appreciating that Paris had the momentum going into that corner. And off we go. Everything settling down a little bit. Nobody's dove into the pits for an early stop or anything at this moment in time. Remember, we got 3 laps minimum on the hard compound tyres in this championship. The rest of the strategy is down to the individual driver. So I'm surprised. To be honest, I'm surprised we haven't seen a hard tyre runner take a chance of diving into the pits. But it looks like Carlsberg has now got another run on Shadow. No, not quite going into the bus stop. Shadow just holds him off as they come out the bus stop chicane. Carlsberg is going to have that slipstream going out towards the start-finish line. So is he going to have enough? Is he close enough to benefit from that? Let's see as they come around the oval, the first part of the oval there, second part of the oval, sorry. And he moves to the outside, no bump drafting, allowed in the Ultimate Racing League, and he's got his nose ahead. Is Shadow going to be ballsy on the brakes? He's not, and he yields that position to Carlsberg. Carlsberg getting that move done. He goes a bit deep, but Shadow also struggling to get that car turned in, so Shadow now down to 8th place, as we kind of suspected might happen, but a real strange one for Shadow. Really struggling with his pace here around this track at the moment, and he's got a lot of work to do in the coming laps if he wants to try and get back onto that podium and keep his stamp on the championship lead. As we look, so Toronto Motorsport almost, let's just have a look, let's see if, yeah, so you can see Shadow up ahead. So despite hitting the wall in turn 1, Toronto Motorsport is latching on, almost latched onto the back of the guys up ahead, and that is a great recovery from him on the medium tyres as well. Look at those lap times of 41.3 on the medium tyres, with Shadow only managing low 42s, and that is why he's clawing them in and why Shadow is struggling. P. White is still out on the hards and still plucking away, but GT Mac, the 2 victims of that first lap incident, and GT Mac now on the inside going in towards the bus stop, and P. White just holds him off, holds on, brakes a little bit later, but now GT Mac is going to have the run on him going down towards the start finish line, and I think that move is going to have to be done, and P. White moves to the outside, GT Mac moves to the inside. I think P. White is looking to try and tuck back in and benefit from the slipstream going down towards turn 1 to try and get the position back. So could this be a tactical move from P. White? Oh no, P. White goes into the pits. So as I was saying, I'm surprised P. White's still out on the hards. He is dived into the pits to get rid of those hards at the end of lap 6. The Canada still keeping Paris at bay. Fastest lap of the race to Paris at 40.0, and he is definitely keen to get a move on here, and he is going to be causing Canada some trouble as we get through the laps. Speed Demon hasn't been able to keep his pace up to match his pole position performance, but he is still there or thereabouts. But looking at that fuel level, that might be playing some role. It looks like he might be fuel saving a little bit, so he's going to claw a little bit of that time back in the pits. As Tinneymill there also on the softs, but using much more fuel than Speed Demon up ahead. So I think Tinneymill is currently sitting in 4th. Caston there in 5th. Also fuel saving by the look of it as well. Either that or the Lexus is just really good on the fuel. But he's there in 5th. Good times at the moment from Caston as well. Good to see him back. And Graham Ali holding on to 6th place at the moment on the hard compound tyre. We've lost Shadow completely off the back of the pack ahead, and now Toronto Motorsport is, well, I mean, being towed around by Shadow, and I think across the start finish line this is going to be a move into turn 1 as Toronto Motorsport moves to the outside. Shadow trying to hold the inside line, under braking. Shadow brakes really late. Can he get that car tucked back in? Just about keeps it in front of Toronto Motorsport, and Toronto Motorsport is he's gonna have to have another look again. He looks up the inside, but he thinks better of it, rolls off, hits the brakes, and now he's gonna have to focus on the exit, which he has done. And he's got a great exit out of the hairpin there, and he's gonna, well, if he's going that way, he's gonna have the outside line. He's Shadow's defending for his life at the moment. And I've got a feeling as we go round this left-hander onto the oval, if Toronto Motorsport can get a good exit and tuck in behind, that move is going to be done before the bus stop chicane. Oh no, Toronto Motorsport's got all the oversteer there, and he's now pointing in the wrong direction. Lovely little save there to point it in the right direction, but GT Matt gets through on Toronto Motorsport. Pablo Jr. is a long way back. As is P. White, having already pitted, and he's out on the soft. But unfortunately for Toronto Motorsport, and fortunately for Shadow, well, that's the second error now for Toronto Motorsport, and he is showing some really strong pace, but he has undone all of his good work. So we've got our first soft tyre runner into the pits, Canados. Oh no, not the pits. It looked like they came into the pits then for a minute. Round turn 1, so Canados leads the way. Perez still on his tail, and a 40, even faster lap on lap 7, a 40.071. Perez really putting the hurry up on his teammate up ahead, and Speed Demon just trying to keep him in his sights for as long as he possibly can, as is Tinny Milk down in 4th place. Caster's still going, he's into the 40s, so he's starting to really settle in on those soft tyres, finding some pace. A little bit off the back of the guys ahead, but he will pull a little bit in the pits over the refueling on City Milk. And Carlsberg there in 6th place. Shadow is 7th. GT Mac now in 8th. Toronto Motorsport down in 9th. And we've got Muhammad Ali into the pits, off the softs, off of the hard tyres, and now onto the mediums. And he comes out ahead. He does. He's come out quite a bit ahead of P. White. So P. White is really going to have to get his head down. I think this is going to be interesting, because I really can't figure out where people are net position wise at this moment in time, so we'll have to wait for a few more laps to unfold before we can have a real idea. These two matching each other tooth and nail here, so Carlos, every time Perez puts a lap in, Carlos is putting a lap in. Both of them down into the low 41s now though, so perhaps those soft tyres starting to really cause some problems, as it looked like Carlos and Perez have gone slightly deep. Speed Demon definitely goes deep there, and that's given Tiddy Milk a bit of an advantage, and now Tiddy Milk is going to be putting the pressure on Speed Demon as they come around the first of the hairpins. Tiddy Milk tucked in behind Speed Demon. Is he going to look to send one up the inside of the second hairpin? He's lining it up, he's moving to the outside. I think Speed Demon's got the pace, but Tiddy Milk sends it. And oh, Tiddy Milk's... Has Tiddy Milk made contact with... Oh, I think he did. He's actually waited this time. Let's just have a... Yeah, that lag is awful. That lag is horrendous. That is impossible to race against. And Tiddy Milk gets out the way and lets Speed Demon back past. He recognises his error that time. Maybe that does back up that he didn't see it on his screen, that he wiped out 2 other competitors on lap 1. But he has waited on that occasion. So that has dropped Speed Demon back off the guys ahead. So all that fuel saving now going to really not really be important to... It's going to really try and save his 3rd place, I think, fuel saving, as I don't think he's going to be a threat to Carlos and Perez, who look in serene form up ahead. as Tinnymilk now settles in behind and looks to try and build that gap, bridge that gap once again. And Cassian keeping an eye on the guy. Oh, Cassian's pissed up a half-second time penalty. I was about to say he's keeping an eye on the guys up ahead. That battle that they've just gone through has brought him into play, and that half-second time penalty is going to take him out of the equation a little bit. And Speed Demon now dives into the pits to get off of the soft tyres. Half a tank of fuel down, so he will have to take on fuel, but that's 10 laps, half a tank of fuel. If he goes 100%, that would be all he needs to refuel for the rest of the race. So is he going to go on hard till the end, or is he going to try a medium stint or another soft stint before taking on the hards? The Canados back into the 40s, the 40.8, but Paris with a 41.2, so 4 tenths. Canados managed to pull on Paris. Doesn't look like that, so Paris perhaps pulling that back throughout this lap. So obviously Tinnymilk in Harris third, and Castian. Castian, he was doing so well. Real good performance so far from him, and he's just got on the dirty stuff with full throttle on the exit there, and that's spanning round, and that's going to drop him back. As the Speed Demon is now pitted, and he's out onto the hard, so he could he hasn't taken on any fuel, so Speed Demon is going to be running hard tyres for as little distance as possible, I would imagine, and then taking on perhaps the mediums, but Shadow up ahead is still on and still yet to stop. The GT Mac, good recovery from him. Still on those medium tyres. He's got his head down. He's been pumping in the 40s. All by that lap 5 where he appears to have had a really rubbish lap. But he's dragging himself back in. We know what Triana Motorsport can do, what he has done to his own race. Really unfortunate stuff, as I think he would be up the front end competing for a podium place had he not made those earlier mistakes. Graham Ali on the medium tyres, knowing Graham, he's already got done the hard run. He'll be running to the end, so let's see. It'll be good to see what he can try and. Oh, I don't know actually. Those medium tyres, I'm not convinced they will go 20 odd laps. So 21 laps. So maybe not. Pablo Jr. having an absolute nightmare race, down in 10th place, still going on those soft tyres, still left yet to stop. And P. White on the soft tyres now, just trying to drag himself back in. I think he must have made a mistake somewhere, because he's dropped a long way back off the pack. So Speed Demons now battling with G. Oh, hang on, we got. Don't remember. I thought. Yeah, so Shadow loses out to GT Mac there, and then Speed Demon is all over the back of Castian, or almost all over the back of him. And GT Mac having a look as Speed Demon goes deep, and now we're coming round towards the second of the hairpins. And is GT Mac going to look to send one up the inside? He has a little look, nothing doing, and he's going to have to hold on. Although he's now got an inside run. Speed Demon giving space, but GT Mac thinks better of it and rolls off. And he's going to try and do it in the slipstream, I think, as we come round the left-hander onto the oval. And it is all about who gets the better exit. I think Speed Demon got a good exit, but GT Mac has got that toe, so GT Mac going to be tucked right in behind. And he moves to the outside. Now, Speed Demon's going to have the run on him in the inside lane, but on the inside, but GT Mac gets a move done before braking for the bus stop. And Speed Demon down into 6th on those hard tyres. GT Mac in the mediums, and we have Canados. What's happened to Canados? He's got engine damage as well. Oh, not what we see normally from Canados. What's happened there is the bus stop chicane. Where's he going? What on earth? So he's flat out on the throttle on the wrong part of the track. Oh, he went to turn. What was he done there? That's one of the weirdest crashes I think I've ever seen commentating on this championship. Right, could that have been a disconnect? Very odd. But it does mean Perez has now inherited the lead, and Tiddy Milk has inherited second. So Perez, as I saw, was diving into the pits. So Perez now into the pits, and Tiddy Milk also into the pits. Yep, Tiddy Milk into the pits as well. And Canados would, of course, have to come into the pits as well. Those soft tyres heavily worn. And now Castian with a half-second time penalty, leading the remaining pack. GT Mac up the inside of Castian as he has the momentum. Perez not out of the pits yet, so shadow through. Oh, Perez is out of the pits. And Perez out of the pits and still in the lead of this race. He hasn't taken on fuel for the hard tyres, so he is going to be looking to get rid of those. But, well, Perez having a great race now. And Tiddy Milk still putting in fuel. Canados has come out on the hards with no fuel again. So that seems to be the strategy for the HKRT guys. Tiddy Milk taking on a full tank of fuel. And Tiddy Milk is out on another set of softs. So he's going to run softs and then I'd imagine hard. So he's now up behind Muhammad Ali, trying to give him a nudge along. And that's where he's spat him out to. So Canados is 7th, still going round. Toronto Motorsport is 6th now. 5th is Speed Demon, and Shadow is up in 4th. Castian just latching onto the back of GT Mac. I think GT Mac just served the time penalty. Fastest lap of the race for GT Mac as well on those medium tyres. 39.9. What a great lap from him on medium tyres. The GT Mac starting to find some real pace. Watch out the rest of the field. As Tiddy Milk with his car pointing in all manner of different directions, but still going straight on, is looking to make a move on Muhammad Ali here. And he's going to have the run on him as they come across the start-finish line. Moves to the outside. Is Graham going to have a bit... Oh, Graham has still got the pace, though. The Graham has still got the pace. Perhaps Tiddy Milk doing a bit of fuel saving. Under brake it. Graham Ali holds the inside line. Tiddy Milk tries to go around the outside. And Graham Ali has to yield. I can't imagine that's particularly easy to try and race against. You can see his car darting all over the track. So Graham Ali doing the sensible thing and just relinquishing that position. You know, well, I don't know whether he's going to know, whether his race engineer knows Tiddy Milk is on softs and has passed on that information, knowing that he's likely to stop again. That is quite a possibility. So Toronto Motorsport looking to make a move on Speed Demon, but he's not going to be able to hold it, I don't think. He's going to go for it down into the bus stop chicane, moves to the inside, under braking, and he gets that move done. Nicely done, but he's going to have a half-second time penalty to serve. He's Toronto Motorsport, and it looks like Canados is looking to make a move on Speed Demon as well. And he's coming alongside of him, and he's got that move done as well. Toronto Motorsport is going to lose that advantage as he hits the time penalty section now. So Speed Demon and Canados battling it out. Oh, Toronto Motorsport and Speed Demon are into the pits. So Canados carries on. Castian also into the pits. And Canados first, second, and third. First is Perez, second is GT Mac. Shadow now up into third, but still yet to stop. Canados into fourth on the hard tyres, but still a stop to make. So this could, with these guys still having a stop to make, depending on what tyres they come out on, could really, this is going to be an interesting grid once everything settles down. So the three guys in the pit still taking on fuel, and they've dropped. It looks like they're dropping right. They've dropped right the way back down to the back of the pack. Although Caston is now back out and into 8th place. And they're speeding out back onto the field. And Toronto Motorsport taking on a full tank of, yeah, so probably about right. Full tank of fuel for the remainder of the race, and he's out on the hard tyres, so you did expect him to be going long. And everything is a little bit more spread out now. So what I'm going to do, just conscious of time, we've had quite a few instances to look at. Just going to take a couple of laps there. Keep an eye on the little mini map as GT Mac now into the pits as well. And GT Mac looks like he's coming out of the pits. Oh no, he's putting fuel in. It was looking like it on the mini map. But Graham Ali's still sticking with Titty Milk on lap 16 as we move on to lap 17. And Graham Ali's still sticking with Titty Milk. And we've got Pablo Jr. holding off Toronto Motorsport. Pablo Jr. seems to have settled down, but I think he's still... So he's out on the hard tyre, so he has stopped. But he's not going to have the pace. We've lost a driver as well. I'm sure we started with 12. Oh, we've lost Carlsberg. Where did Carlsberg go? Well, that's unfortunate. We've lost the driver. Maybe he disconnected. So Shadow is low on fuel now, and he's going to have to look to come into the pits. He's taken those mediums a long way. Maybe he's got one more lap left in him on that fuel. But Perez certainly has us. Perez running that tank dry. And I think he's going to come in and go back out on a fresh set of soft tyres. So where is that going to bring him out? Let's have a little look. Canados, after that really bizarre incident, is going to be doing the same. And Titty Milk, who was the next in line, is down in 4th. Graham Ali in 5th. And we know Titty Milk's got to stop again. Graham Ali doesn't, though. He can go to the end if those tyres will take him there. And Shadow proving that they probably will, so I think Rahamed's going to go to the end. Harris is stopping to get rid of those hards. So he's probably going to have to take on about 50%, 55% fuel, I would imagine. Canados will be doing the same. And Graham Ali, Graham Ali into the pits. Oh, that's an interesting one. So he's going to be coming. He's going to have to go out on softs. That's the only reason you would do that. He's already done the hards, but look who's he's back up. The P White is now back into the mix, but he's going to have to stop again as well, because those soft tires certainly aren't going to last another 13 laps, 13 laps. So we got a lot of a bit of a mix-up now of where people are. I'm looking forward to getting a bit of a better idea on the where the grid is going to end up, because this is really jumbled. We've got people everywhere that weren't where they were. So I think our net leader is still Paris. So he's taken on quite a bit of fuel. Maybe he's going to go hammer time on this race on those soft tires to the end. He's got to do 12 laps plus the rest of this one on those soft tires. So that's going to be a big ass. Soft tires do wear out quite quickly. But I think he is our net leader. Speed Demon out onto the mediums, does not need to stop again. And not far off the back of Paris. So if Paris's tyres do go off, that could bring a Speed Demon back into play. Shadow now into the pits as well. GT Matt's got some good pace. He's out on the hards. I think he's likely to run it to the end from there. Canados out on a fresh set of softs. He's going to be looking to make some moves. Graham Ali still plucking away on those medium tyres. Oh, he's come out on a fresh set of mediums. Graham, me and you need to have some words about your strategy, because there's a lot of things you're missing. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you'd almost had it perfect. You ran the hards early on for a long run, and then you were running mediums, and I thought you were going to run to the end of the race, but you haven't, and then you come in and not put softs on. Very odd decision. Yes. So Tiddy Milk then takes the lead of this race. We know he's got to stop again. I don't think he's going to have to put any fuel in when he does stop, so it is going to be a quick tyre change. And obviously get off those soft tyres and put on the hards. So he's going to want to try and run this as long as he can on those softs. Castillo now into second place. And again, I think he should be okay on the fuel. The medium tyres will last. So hopefully he's not under-fueled for the remainder of this race. And Paris now up into third. So Paris, I believe, is our net leader. But he is going to have to pass the guys, past Castellan on track if he is going to take the lead of this race. Castellan has turned this around despite having that spin. Either I'm missing something. Has he still got the hards to come? Maybe he's still got the hards to come. So maybe he does need to stop again. Speed Demon then in fourth, we know doesn't need to stop again. Neither does GT Mac. And GT Mac has Shadow for company, who also doesn't need to stop again, but does have a half-second time penalty. Followed by Canados, who also does not need to stop again. And Muhammad Ali definitely doesn't need to stop again. So all bar Castellan and Tiddy Milk, I think, have stopped for the final time. So we'll see. So Tiddy Milk with the fastest lap of the race so far. That's an impressive lap time, really, considering he's on heavily worn soft tyres as well. But I'd imagine Paris will be gunning for that fastest lap with the pace he's shown, unless, of course, he's just managing his tyres now to get into the end of the race. He doesn't really want to fall into the clutches of Speed Demon. Canados gets through on Shadow and up into fifth place. Muhammad Ali just trying to catch back on to the guys up ahead. GT Mac and Toronto Motorsport battling out. Toronto Motorsport with a half-second time penalty. We're going to take this opportunity to get another lap of time back. So then, we've still got Tiddy Milk out in front on the soft tyres, still running. We've got Castellan in second place, still running on those medium tyres. And we do think he has to stop for the hard compound tyres still. So he's going to be running those until 3 laps from the end, and then take them on at the end of the race, I would imagine. Paris in third, definitely doesn't need to stop again. He's completed his tyre requirements. Speed Demon in fourth, also the same situation, but on a slightly slower compound, but it could come good towards the end of the race. Canados also completed his tyre requirements, so will be staying out, I would imagine, on those soft tyres. Shadow doesn't have to come in, but may decide to come in for softs. Muhammad Ali is 7th place, but I've got to be honest, it feels like an opportunity missed there on strategy, and he's going to be kicking himself, I think, when he realises that the likes of Paris and Canados were put on soft tyres for the same amount of laps, and Graham on the mediums. So I also don't think he needed to stop again, but there we go. GT Mac in 8th. I'm just for the record, I'm not a guru, I'm not a tyre whisperer, I'm not a professional racer driver. It's just my knowledge from what I've seen in pro, myself I've raced, and what I've seen from the other guys in this race. As Muhammad Ali now looks to try and take 6th place from Shadow. Shadow on the hard, so you would expect Muhammad Ali to get that done. And that tyre compound really showing its metal there on the grip side. It takes the inside line, and that gives him the momentum and the grip to pull away, and he is up into 6th place. As GT Mac battling back, he's on the hard tyres, as is Toronto Motorsport. PY on fresh soft tyres. He's probably going to make mincemeat of Trana Motorsport and GT Mac up ahead. But I think he's got a bit of a gap there to Shadow that I think might be a bit beyond where he's at pace-wise. Pablo Jr. is still going out the back of the grid, and into the pits he comes. Sorry, that always looks like the pits from that angle. It's not the pits, he's carrying on. So Tiddy Milk's still taking those softs as far as he possibly can. Got a good gap over Castellan behind him. Battling now with Perez. So Perez looking to try and find a way through. And he's going to have the slipstream. He moves to the inside. And that's going to give him the inside line into turn 1. Is he going to have him on the brakes? He does. Shoulder to shoulder. And Perez gets the job done, as you'd expect, on the softer compound tyre. Speed Demon down in 4th. He's lost touch with the guys up ahead, so I don't think he's a threat to Paris at the moment in time. But he is doing a good job of holding off Canados, who has now taken fastest lap of the race from Tiddy Milk with a 39.8, and Muhammad Ali is now broken the spirit a little bit of Shadow behind him, and looking at up ahead. But again, I think that gap is probably a little bit too much to try and take on, although he's going for fastest lap on the mediums. Purple is set to 1, and Graham Ali not messing about. I'm just wondering when Tiddy Milk is going to decide to come in. He's still maintaining good time, although this lap is going to be 1.5 seconds off of his best lap time, so that is going to be into the 41s. So maybe it's time to consider getting off of those soft tyres. That rear right-hand tyre looking really weird that the rear right is wearing out. But yeah, he does dive into the pits. So it's going to be really interesting where he comes out. He had quite a lead over Perez and Castellan. He is going to come out on the hard tyres, so he is going to be a bit of a sitting duck. But he is going to have the opportunity, I think, of a podium here if he gets his stint right. So Perez going round turn 1 is going to come out in front of Tiddy Milk. I think Castellan is as well. Tiddy Milk's still in the pits. He's taking on a little bit of fuel. Canados going through round to turn 1. Speed Demon also, but Tiddy Milk comes out ahead of Speed Demon and Canados. So Tiddy Milk is on the podium as things stand, but Speed Demon and Canados are on much faster compound tyres. The Tiddy Milk is going to have to do some defensive work to get himself to the end of this race. Oh. Hit the wrong button there. As everything does look a little bit spread out now, so just going to take the opportunity to drag another lap back. So Tiddy Milk still holding on to 3rd from Speed Demon in 4th, and Canados looking at the inside of Speed Demon, and he thinks better of it. Oh, does he? So Speed Demon gives him room, but Canados gets oversteer on the exit, and now the battling side by side, going down towards the second of the hairpins, but Speed Demon lets him go. Doesn't have the momentum coming out of the corner like Canados did on the soft tyres, so that is put Canados through and into 4th place and off up the road to chase after Tiddy Milk. Can he bridge that gap, or is Tiddy Milk going to hold on for the podium? I do suspect there may be some penalties coming his way after the race once the stewards have a review of the instance that he was involved in, but on track at least he is currently holding on to a podium position. Perez has indeed inherited the lead, and he is our net leader of this race, comfortably ahead of Castellan in 2nd. And as I said, I do believe Castellan does need to stop again, so that is going to be an important stop in the with regards to the outcome of this race. And Again, it's that view. It looks like he's coming into the pits, and he's not. City Milk still holding on to third. Canados trying to hold off Speed Demon there in fifth after getting the move done, but Speed Demon not letting this one go. Rahman Ali a bit lonely there in sixth place. Now it's battle for fourth, or what could be second and third if the gaps are short enough. This could be an interesting battle because the soft tire is going to start going off now for Canados, but Speed Demon has got really quite fresh to medium tires in comparison, and slow softs are slower than good mediums by quite some margin, I think. And I think this could come back towards Speed Demon here, and well, that move could have given him a higher position. But Speed Demon, I think, is going to have the momentum to take that position back towards the end of this race. As Triana Motorsports trying to close in on P White, but I don't think on the hard compound tyre he's going to manage it. Although, like I said, the soft tyre does go off. So spread out a little bit. So I'm going to grab another lap back. This should get us back on track with our timings. So Paris is still leading the race. Castian in second place. Tiddy Milk there in third. Canados in fourth, still holding off Speed Demon. But those tyres are starting to wear, and those tyres are starting to come good for Speed Demon. And he's going to have a bit more grip coming into the last few laps of this race. Muhammad Ali then in sixth place, still holding on. Shadow has been in... Look like he'd been into the pits. Pit lines are all confusing right now. GT Mac then in 8th, P White in 9th, still holding off Triana Motorsport on the hard tyres, but making good use of them. And Pablo at the back of the field in 11th place, as Paris now comes around the first part of the oval towards the bus stop chicane for the 27th time, leaving 3 laps to go after this lap. Castian still holding on to second. As you can see there, he's low on fuel, so he is going to be coming in for the hard compound tyre. And City Milk will then inherit second place from Castian. He is Canados making inroads. He isn't. Those soft tyres are hurting him. And Speed Demon, I think, is really close now. No, not quite close enough, but he's still there. And as those tyres get worse, that is going to cause him some problems. So this is going to be a battle for the podium towards the end of this race. Canados currently holding that podium position as they go through the bus stop chicane. Not the bus stop chicane, go through turn 1. God, I'm all over the place this race. Sort it out. Sort it out, Enzo. Right, so Muhammad Ali then inherits 5th place, and he's I say about the strategy, and I do think that there is more on the cards for him for this race, but he is showing some really strong pace on those medium tyres. The 39.9 on mediums, only half a second off Canados' fastest lap of the race on softs, and maybe that Grahamid just feels that little bit more comfortable on the medium tyres, but I still don't think he needed to stop again. But I'm sure he'll correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Shadow in 6th place, really unfortunate to not see him competing at the front end. Championship leader, I think that might change as a result of the result of this race. But we'll have to see from the points tables. GT Matlin is 7th, showing some really strong pace in this race, but not converted it into positions after being sent into oblivion by Tilly Milk on lap 1. Castian in 8th and P White in 9th. He'll have the same issue on lap 1. Castian's had a good race, returning to the championship finally after a few races off, and he's showing he's got some good strong pace, particularly around this track, which is good to see. Crown Motorsport in 10th, Pablo Jr. He's really not been at the races around here, and he'll be glad when this one is over, I am sure. As Perez comes around the final hairpin, the second hairpin for the penultimate time, and onto the oval. City Milk also coming round. And Canados not that far away, but I don't think he's made the inroads he would have wanted to. And Speed Demon has dropped back, so the tyre delta really not playing into Speed Demon's hands like I thought it might do. Canados has managed to really extract every ounce of performance out of those tyres, benefiting, I think, from low fuel as well. Muhammad Ali lonely in 5th, just off the back of Speed Demon. And Shadow well off the back of the rest of the guys then. Back in 6th with GT Mac for company in 7th. And, well, he's got the momentum, so it looks like Shadow's going to lose that position. GT Mac round the outside and onto the bus, towards the bus stop chicane, up before the braking zone. He's made that move and he's got it done, and Shadow just not at it today. Maybe it's not his track, favourite track, and he's dropping down the pecking order, and Castian may well be on his case before the end of this race. Harris, comfortable lead then from City Milk behind him. And it does appear to spread out. We're on the final lap of the race, so we'll just watch Paris take us around. Final lap of the race at GTR, exhaust coming out just behind the front wheels. Popping flames, looking fantastic. He's been in a bit of a league of his own as Paris after the very odd crash from Canados. Gave Paris a clear stab at the win. He's taken full advantage of that opportunity as he comes around the final part of the oval to go down towards bus stop chicane for the final time. Hopping and banging on the downshifts. And round the final part of the oval for the final time of this 30 lap race at the Daytona International Raceway in Daytona, Florida. And Paris is going to take the checkered flag. Great stuff from Paris, great performance. He takes the checkered flag. City Milk coming across the line in 2nd place. Again, subject to some steward reviews, I'm sure. Canados will take 3rd place. Speed Demon comes across the line to take 4th. And Muhammad Ali just behind in 5th. And now we await the arrival of GT Mac. As GT Mac comes across comes towards the start-finish line in 6th place. Ahead of Shadow in 7th. Shadow just holding off from Castian in 8th. P. White comes home in 9th. And then we got Trout Motorsport, and then it will be Pablo Jr. to cross the line in the final position. So Trout Motorsport takes the start finish line there, and he takes 10th place. And then we just wait for Pablo Jr. is out of fuel, so he will be taking some time to cross start finish lines. So that gives me the opportunity then to say thank you very much for watching. Another great race from the Pro-Am guys. These guys do always put on a bit of a spectacle, a bit of entertainment. A little bit quiet in places. It's a bit short of the battles that we are used to seeing, but still some good stuff from these guys. And I look forward to bringing you the next round from Watkins Glen.